Welcome back. You're tuning into another episode of The Alarm, Awakening of Soul. My name is Gara Guzman. Today we're going to be discussing another very important topic, which is resistance. And just to recap with you guys where we left off in the last episode, we discussed in parts 1 and 2 of meditation, what is meditation, the different forms of meditation, how to practice meditation, and how important and relevant it is to the practice of creating with intention and creating the things that you want to see manifest into your life. So, without further ado, we're going to get right back into it with resistance. So, as it states, resistance is it's a wall up. It is a blockage, an obstruction in the path of what it is that you want to see come forth. So, I'm going to go over with you and tell you about the different kinds of resistance that you might not even realize that that's going on. The number one and by far most common form of resistance is self-doubt. You can practice visualization and meditation and take all the steps that you need to take to activate the process, but if you truly don't have the faith and you truly don't believe at the end of the day that those things will manifest, they will not. So that is by far the number one form of resistance. The second form of resistance is impatience, which means that you take on the steps of activating the process of your creation, and but you yourself are putting a time frame on it, limiting, its expansion. So if it's not happening on your time, you begin to get discouraged, and you begin to become impatient and anxious, and at some point losing faith as well again towards that creation. So that is another very common form of resistance. The third form of resistance would be letting outside influence what you're doing, meaning a lot of us, we get excited sometimes of the things that we're pursuing and we're creating, and we tell friends and family, and they might not respond back with the same enthusiasm that we had in telling them. And even furthermore, they might even have a negative comment. Well, you're too old. Well, why are you doing that? Well, you're wasting your time. And sometimes we let those things take on a life of their own inside of us, and we develop emotions behind those feelings, and in the same way, we start reshaping those things that we intend to create. The fourth and probably most common sense, form of resistance that you don't want to create in your path is to be inactive in the process of it. Meaning, what we do with the practice and meditation and visualization is creating on a spiritual level, which is more important than actually the physical level, because that's where it all stems from to begin with. But if you're not as active in the physical as you are in the spiritual, then you're only halfway doing it. Meaning that you can't, for instance, intend to create a job opportunity for yourself and be sitting on the couch. You have to get up and be active in pursuing the things that you are creating behind the scenes. So that is another way of resistance and reshaping the things that you do. When I say reshaping, I mean literally the difference, the shifting of energy level when you have thoughts of resistance to when you don't. I mean, it's so far apart that, I mean, you are literally changing the form and the shape of the things that you are intending to create. And to be quite honest with you, the best way to fight resistance is to move even further and to move even more with a punch, and to pursue even harder, and to get up when you don't want to, and to meditate when you don't want to, and to visualize when you don't want to. When there is resistance, you have to push that resistance from your way mentally and physically. So you have to get up and break through it. And as far as, just getting feedback from the outside world, in the beginning of the process of creation and the conception of it, you want to keep things to yourself. And I think that is the best way that I can tell you to avoid that type of resistance into your life, is just to work on what you're doing behind the scenes and let the success of your creation speak for itself. And in the same way, you avoid any resistance and any thoughts that might slow down your process. And also, a great way to stay in tune and stay aligned with the things that you are creating is to always stay in a conscience of gratitude. Always stay grateful for those things that are already created but are just beginning to manifest for you. Okay? So, I will leave you guys with this message, and hopefully it helps you guys in some way, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks. Peace.